Where do I start on this one? Well, hi, if you're new here, my name is Mother, and I've been married for scratch that. I've been happily married for going 3 years. I must say marriage is beautiful, of course, if you're married the right person. So, this is my truth about marriage. One, forgiveness. In our premarital counseling, our pastor emphasized on forgiveness, and he told us forgiveness is not a feeling, forgiveness is an act of will, you know. And I didn't grasp that clearly at the beginning until I was in marriage, because now you get to gather and stay in the same living space with this partner of yours, so you're likely to bump heads more often than how it was when you were still dating and courting, because you had a lot of time apart, but now you have a lot of time together, so you're going to have friction more often than you might think, for the mere fact that you're brought up from different family backgrounds. You're used to doing things a certain way, he's used to doing things a certain way. So there's going to be a lot of friction, and forgiveness does come in really handy. And there's this quote that says, "Learn to accept the apology you never received." My God, that comes in handy in marriage, because you can't keep apologizing for every small mistake that you do according to your partner, because mistakes sometimes vary. I'll give an example, like if he left the toilet seat up. To some people that is so offensive, and they get pissed over it, they get worked up over it, which is something minor, really. It's something minor. But if you require an apology for every tiny thing your partner does, my God, you can easily end up creating a toxic environment for your relationship. That's why I usually hear men dreading to go home, because their partner doesn't let go of certain things. When they go back home, they'll start from where they left off. They'll start, blaming them again because they haven't gotten an apology. And the same applies to women. Sometimes you hear women dreading their partners being around, and they're wishing their partners would go on a long work trip so that they can have a breather, so that they can have some peace. So forgiveness, even if you don't receive an apology, sometimes you just have to let go of certain things. And I've really learned that in marriage. So learning to accept the apology I never received is kind of my new mantra, And not saying that sometimes I don't be uptight, sometimes I am, but I've adopted, to let go some of the things that are really not such a big deal. 2, compromise. I used to wonder why a lot of women would do a lot of things with their partners in mind, I'm doing this for my husband. Oh, my husband likes me dressing like this. Oh, my husband likes the food done the other way. And I used to wonder, and it was kind of judgmental a little bit, but should I sound ignorant then? Anyway, I used to wonder, when do they get to do things for themselves? When do they get to live for themselves? And I've got to understand that marriage is all about compromise. You're doing things for your partner other than for yourself most of the times, and I have adopted it, and I see why they used to do it that way. Because if I may refer to my husband, he's a very big soccer fanatic, and I am not, and Then when we just got married, whenever there's soccer, and yet there's Premier League, Champions League, La Liga, Europa, I would those weekends that are full of soccer, I would find other programs. I would go out, spend the day at my friends, or spend the day in my office doing other things, letting him watch soccer alone. But then after some time, I realized that I'm robbing myself of the opportunity to spend more time with him. So I decided to pick interest in soccer. Not that I love soccer, no, just made that compromise so that I can, spend more time with my partner. So nowadays I do watch soccer with him. Other days the soccer watches me, if you know what I mean, like that. But it has put us to a good space, and he does the same, because I'm a 90-day fiancé fanatic, and I watch everything 90-day fiancé, from 90-day fiancé before the 90 days, 90-day fiancé the other way, 90-day fiancé after the 90 days, 90-day fiancé happily ever after, 90-day fiancé the single life, like everything 90-day fiancé. I watch that, and nowadays he comes along with me. He makes time to sit down and watch it with me, even though it is not really his thing. But he does make the time he does make that compromise to watch it with me. So marriage is really about compromise. You don't really have to love what your partner loves, but sometimes you gotta show up for the fact that they love it. Yeah, compromises is key. 3, privacy. So before I got married, whenever I attended a wedding with my elder brother, whenever he would speak to the couples, he would emphasize something, and I never understood it. He would advise the couple not to seek for help outside their marriage in case they are facing any challenges or having problems. He would advise them to sit together and solve their problems as a couple. Of course, with an exception of those marriages that are facing domestic violence. That one, don't keep quiet. Run. If you could scream at the top of your voice, scream, otherwise you might end up losing your life because you're trying to be quiet. This only applies for other challenges that are not violent. So he would advise them to do that, and I never understood what he meant until I got married, and my BFF, who happened to be my matron, explained it better, and now that I understood it, man, my brother is such a wise man. I mean, with privacy, we don't mean that you shouldn't share photos of you and your partner on social media. I mean, we all know people share their highlights, they don't share the real thing on social media. But what they meant is, when you're having challenges with your partner, don't share those challenges with your family or friends, because and the reverse is true. If you're having challenges with your family, it is not good to always share everything with your partner. Here's why. The rate at which you forgive the person who has wronged you will be different from the rate at which your loved ones will forgive them. Let's say, for instance, your partner has wronged you and you're pissed at that time till you share with your partner, but after working, after resolving your issues, you will forgive your partner and things will get back to normal. Yeah, that is not the case with your family or friends. They won't forgive your partner at the same rate at which you forgive them. For them, they'll continue holding grudges for some time, and other people don't actually even get to forgive. So you'll be looking at your partner like, that idiot. Yet for you, you have moved on past that. And the same goes for your family. If your family wrongs you and you share everything with your partner, then you reconcile with your partner, and your partner will be looking at your family like, what did I get myself into? These guys are such lunatics. So it is important to keep certain things to yourselves until you resolve them, or find a person who is good at being neutral, who will not hold grudges against either and share with them, because you don't want to be in family gatherings and people are pointing at your partner like, that one. That one is the one who does this. That one is the one who does the other. Yet for you, you already reconciled your partner and you're all happy, you're all proud of your partner. That might not be the case. So it is key to keep some things to yourself, or write a long email, pray about it, find a way of keeping some things to yourselves in order to keep, you know that saying, your partner's weaknesses are your strength. That is what they mean. You cover up your partner's weaknesses. So for you have to be strong enough to keep the weaknesses to yourself. 4, respect. Marriage works well when you practice mutual respect. I sometimes hear people talk about their partners in not so good ways, or others don't actually consider their partner's opinions when they're doing certain things, which is really not right. It does affect the marriage in a certain way. For us, we practice mutual respect in a way that, for instance, sometimes my husband is slow at doing certain things, like he likes to plan, he likes to spend a certain amount of money at a particular time. He likes to do things a certain way. And yet for me, I was different. I'm like, okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to do this. Do we have the finances? Let's do it right away. But my husband likes to sleep over it and see if he really is interested in doing that thing. So it was such a challenge for me at the beginning, but I had to adjust just because I respect him. If we are planning to make a purchase and he says, we shouldn't make this purchase today, let's wait and do it next week, I'll respect that. I won't do it even though I'm in position to fund it myself, even though I'm in position to buy it myself. I'll keep low just to give him respect, until we can purchase that particular item together when we are both, in agreement. And the same goes for him. If he's out there and he's come across something that he wants to purchase for us, he doesn't just purchase it because he can afford it or he has the money for it. If it's something for us, he'll give me a call and we discuss it, we talk over it, before he can, which is really good. Mutual respect is really necessary in marriage. Otherwise, you find people doing things separately, alone. Yet mutual respect will build each other's self-esteem, will make the other partner know how important they are for the other, and it makes it easy for the two people to run towards the same goal. So practicing mutual respect is it's such a big deal in marriage. So I can go on and on and on, but not to make this whole video such a long one. I think I'll end here and I'll work on episode 2 for those who might be interested. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell so you're the first to know when I upload new content. If you like the content in this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.